Welcome to your deep dive. Today we're going to be really cracking open Truly Madly Guilty
Ooh.
by Liane Moriarty. And I know this was a book that you specifically chose
Yes.
because you were interested in learning a little bit more about some of the characters and some of the themes of guilt and redemption and how our choices really kind of shape our lives.
Right.
And I thought we'd also take a look at Moriarty's writing style
Okay.
and see if we can unpack why it is that her stories resonate with so many readers.
Yeah, it's a great choice. Truly Madly Guilty has so much to unpack.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be really interesting to kind of see what we discover together by looking at it.
Well, I mean, one of the first things that I noticed is that the story kind of revolves around this barbecue.
Right.
That ends up having these, these major consequences for everyone involved.
Yes.
And Moriarty doesn't reveal exactly what happened right away, which I think is what kept me, on the edge of my seat.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you find yourself kind of trying to piece together the events?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
As you read?
Totally.
Yeah.
And I think, that's one of the things that makes this book so captivating.
Yeah.
As we meet the characters, Clementine and Sam, Erika and Oliver, we're also trying to figure out what happened at that barbecue and how it's kind of impacting their lives.
Well, let's start with Clementine and Sam. They, they seem to have this picture-perfect life, at least on the surface.
Right.
But you can just, sense this tension kind of bubbling beneath.
Yes.
Do you think that their different approaches to life are the root of their problems, maybe?
I think it's definitely a factor.
Yeah.
Clementine is this passionate cellist.
Right.
But she's struggling with the demands of motherhood.
Right.
And it's almost as if her artistic pact clashes with what society expects of her as a mother. And then you have Sam, on the other hand, who seems more focused on, providing for his family.
Right.
And maybe doesn't quite understand Clementine's internal struggle.
Yeah, and then we have Erika and Oliver, they're close friends, who just kind of add this other layer of complexity to the mix.
Totally.
What did you make of their relationship and how it intersects with the themes of the novel?
Yeah, on one hand, Erika and Oliver's struggle to conceive adds another dimension to this theme of parenthood that runs throughout the story.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder if Moriarty is trying to say something about societal pressures surrounding parenthood and how those pressures can really impact relationships.
It's interesting you mention societal pressures. Yeah. When we were prepping for this deep dive, we used some AI tools to analyze the text.
Right.
And they uncovered some recurring motifs connected to this very idea.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And the AI was particularly insightful, I thought, when it came to analyzing Clementine.
Oh.
For example, there's this recurring detail of her fiddling with her wedding ring. And, on the surface, it seems like just a minor habit.
Right.
But the AI kind of highlighted how that might actually symbolize, her underlying anxieties about her marriage.
Interesting.
Maybe even her role in society. It's like she's subconsciously questioning her commitment to both.
That's fascinating. I totally missed that on my first read.
It makes you wonder how many other subtle details Moriarty uses to foreshadow events or reveal character traits.
It's quite remarkable.
Yeah.
And it really speaks to her skill as a writer, her ability to weave these intricate details into the fabric of the story.
Speaking of Moriarty's skill, what is it about her writing style that you think resonates so strongly with readers?
I think it's her ability to blend humor and suspense with these insightful observations about human nature.
Right.
She tackles these complex issues like marriage, parenthood, societal expectations in a way that's both entertaining and thought-provoking, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. And she doesn't shy away from the messiness of human relationships. Her characters feel so real and relatable even when they're making these questionable choices.
Let's talk about those choices for a second.
Okay.
One of the things that struck me about Truly Madly Guilty is how Moriarty explores the idea that a single decision can have these huge cascading consequences. Have you ever experienced something similar in your own life?
Oh, for sure.
Where a seemingly small choice led to a much larger outcome.
Yeah, it definitely makes you think about the weight of our decisions.
Right.
And how they can, ripple outward, affecting not just ourselves, but also, the people around us. It's a bit like that butterfly effect, isn't it? One small flap of a wing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And in Truly Madly Guilty, that butterfly effect is on full display.
Yeah.
The characters' lives become intertwined in these really unexpected ways.
Yeah.
And their choices, both big and small, have these really far-reaching consequences.
And Moriarty uses this concept to, masterfully build suspense, right?
Oh, totally.
She drops these little hints along the way, foreshadowing events, creating the sense of, anticipation and dread.
Yes.
For example, remember how she keeps mentioning the storm brewing in the distance?
Oh, that's a great example of foreshadowing.
Yeah.
For those unfamiliar with the term, it's a literary technique where the author hints at future events.
Right.
And in this case, the storm serves as a metaphor for the emotional turmoil that's brewing amongst the characters.
Right.
And of course, it eventually breaks, both literally and figuratively, at the barbecue.
It's almost as if that storm is like a character itself, this looming presence that foreshadows the chaos that's about to unfold.
Precisely.
Right.
And it's a brilliant example of how Moriarty uses symbolism and imagery to create both tension and emotional depth.
Right. Now, speaking of tension,
yes,
let's talk about the ending.
Okay.
It's safe to say the ending of Truly Madly Guilty is one that stays with you.
It really does.
I've heard it's been debated and discussed by readers, and I'm curious to hear your take on it.
Okay.
But before we dive into that, let's take a moment to reflect on what we've uncovered so far.
Yeah.
We've explored the characters, their complexities, and how they're influenced by societal expectations.
Right.
We've touched upon Moriarty's writing style, her use of foreshadowing and symbolism, and how she kind of weaves humor and suspense
into these, very real and relatable stories.
It's been quite a journey so far, and I think we've only just scratched the surface.
Right.
There's still so much to discuss, particularly about that ending and what it might reveal about the characters' journeys toward redemption.
I'm ready to keep digging.
Okay.
Are you?
Let's do it. Absolutely. Let's delve a little deeper into Truly Madly Guilty, picking up where we left off.
Right.
That captivating ending.
Yes.
Many readers, I think, have really strong feelings about how Moriarty brings the story to a close.
For sure.
What are your initial thoughts?
Well, I found it incredibly thought-provoking.
Okay.
It doesn't wrap everything up all neat and tidy, which I appreciate.
Right.
It leaves you with questions and makes you consider the different interpretations of what true redemption might look like for these characters. Do you think they find a sense of peace
after all the turmoil they've experienced?
That's a great question, and it's one that I think has really resonated with readers.
Yeah.
Some might argue that the ending does offer a sense of resolution.
Okay.
Allowing the characters to kind of move forward from the events of that fateful barbecue.
Right.
Others, however, might see it as more open-ended.
Yeah.
Suggesting that they're still grappling with the consequences of their choices.
Right.
Where do you kind of fall on that spectrum?
I lean towards that open-ended interpretation, I think.
Okay.
It just feels more true to life, doesn't it?
Yeah.
We rarely get, perfect resolutions in our own lives, right? We carry our experiences with us, and they continue to shape us, even as we, move forward.
I agree, and Truly Madly Guilty doesn't shy away from that complexity at all.
Yeah.
It suggests that even in the face of, tragedy and hardship, there can be moments of grace, forgiveness, and ultimately hope.
Right.
But it doesn't offer, easy answers.
Right.
For a simple path to redemption.
And that leads us back to a point I think we discussed earlier, those societal pressures that influence the character's choices.
Right.
Clementine, for example, constantly questions her abilities as a mother.
Yeah.
It's as if she feels guilty for pursuing her passion for music while also, raising a family.
Right.
Does this resonate with you at all?
Oh, for sure.
Have you ever felt a similar pressure to conform to societal expectations.
Clementine's struggle is incredibly relatable, especially for women who are trying to balance their personal aspirations with the demands of motherhood.
Right.
You know, society often places these unrealistic expectations on women. Yeah. And Clementine's internal conflict really highlights this tension.
And then we have Erika.
Yes.
Who faces a different kind of societal pressure, the expectation to become a mother, even though she and Oliver struggle
with infertility.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking to witness their journey and how it strains their relationship.
Absolutely.
And it's important to acknowledge that infertility is a topic that's often stigmatized and not really discussed openly.
Yeah.
And by bringing this issue to the forefront, Moriarty sheds light on a very real struggle that so many couples face.
It's a reminder that we all have our own unique challenges, right?
Exactly.
And what might look like a perfect life from the outside often has its own hidden complexities.
Precisely. And Truly Madly Guilty encourages us to kind of look beyond those surface appearances and recognize that shared humanity that connects us all regardless of our individual circumstances.
It's a powerful message.
It is.
And it's one of the many reasons I think why Moriarty's books resonate so deeply with readers.
Yeah.
She just captures the nuances of human relationships and the complexities of modern life in a way that's both insightful
totally and entertaining. Now, before we wrap up our discussion, let's revisit one of the most intriguing aspects of our deep dive, the use of AI to analyze the text.
Right.
What surprised you most about the insights that the AI uncovered?
Well, I was amazed by its ability to identify subtle patterns and connections that I had completely missed on my initial read.
Yeah.
The example we discussed earlier about Clementine fiddling with her wedding ring. It was as if the AI was able to like read between the lines and uncover this deeper meaning behind a seemingly insignificant detail.
It's remarkable, isn't it?
It is.
The AI help us see the story in a new light, revealing those hidden layers of meaning and symbolism.
Right.
It's as if it unlocked this secret code within the text.
And it makes you wonder how technology might continue to enhance our understanding of literature in the future.
Totally.
Right. It's exciting to think about the possibilities. Absolutely. Now, as we move toward the conclusion of our deep dive, I want to pose one final thought-provoking question for you to consider.
Okay.
What does true redemption look like in the context of this novel?
Yeah.
Is it about achieving some kind of perfect resolution?
Right.
Or is it something more intricate?
Yeah.
Something more human?
That's a brilliant question. And I think it's one that each reader will have to answer for themselves.
Okay.
Perhaps there's no single answer.
Right.
Maybe redemption is a journey, not a destination.
I love that perspective.
Yeah.
It's a journey we're all on in some way, right?
Yeah.
Constantly striving to make amends for past mistakes.
Yeah.
Seeking forgiveness, trying to become better versions of ourselves.
Right.
And I think Truly Madly Guilty beautifully illustrates the complexities of that journey.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
It reminds us that there are no easy answers.
Right.
No simple solutions.
No.
But there is always hope.
Yes.
Even amidst the messiness of life.
Exactly.
It's a story that encourages us to examine our own choices, to consider the ripple effects of our actions, and to strive for compassion and understanding both for ourselves and for others. You know, it's fascinating how Truly Madly Guilty kind of encourages us to think about those big questions, like what it really means to seek and offer forgiveness.
Right.
And it just makes me think about how those themes resonate with readers, you know, on such a personal level.
Absolutely. It's a testament to Moriarty's ability to tap into those universal human experiences.
Right.
You know, while the circumstances in the novel might be dramatic, the underlying emotions, the guilt, the regret, the longing for connection.
Yeah.
Those are all things I think we can all relate to.
Absolutely. We've covered so much ground in this deep dive, from character analysis to the impact of societal pressures, and even the use of AI to uncover those hidden layers of meaning in the text.
Right.
Was there anything that particularly surprised you as we explored Truly Madly Guilty together?
What struck me most, I think, is how the novel challenges our perceptions of guilt and innocence. There are no, clear-cut heroes or villains here.
Right.
Just flawed individuals grappling with the consequences of their choices.
Yeah.
It makes you question whether anyone can truly be madly guilty when life is so nuanced and complicated.
It's a reminder that judging others is rarely straightforward. We often only see a fraction of the story.
Right.
And truly madly guilty encourages us to look beyond those surface appearances and really consider the complexities of human motivation.
Speaking of complexity, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on Moriarty's writing style. We talked about her use of foreshadowing and symbolism, but what else do you think contributes to her ability to craft such engaging and thought-provoking stories?
Well, I think it's her masterful blend of humor and suspense,
Right.
She can make you laugh out loud on one page and then leave you breathless with anticipation on the next.
Right.
It's a delicate balance, and she pulls it off brilliantly.
She does. I completely agree.
Yeah.
And it's that blend of humor and suspense that keeps you hooked, turning pages late into the night.
Yeah.
Eager to see what happens next.
And even after you finish the book, you're still left, pondering the characters and their fates, contemplating those big questions about guilt, redemption, and the choices we make.
It's a story that stays with you long after you've closed the book.
It really does. And I have a feeling you'll find yourself discovering new layers of meaning.
Oh, for sure.
Each time you revisit Truly Madly Guilty.
Absolutely.
It's a novel that rewards multiple readings.
It does.
Well, as we wrap up our deep dive,
I
want to leave you with one final thought.
All right.
We've talked about the ripple effects of choices.
Yes.
How a single decision can set off this chain of events with unintended consequences.
Yeah.
As you reflect on Truly Madly Guilty, consider this: what choices have shaped your own journey? And what ripples are you creating in the world around you?
It's a powerful question.
Yeah.
And I encourage you to explore it with curiosity and compassion.
Yeah.
Both for yourself and for those whose lives intersect with your own.
Right.
Remember, even the smallest actions can have a profound impact.
Yeah.
Creating ripples of hope, kindness, and connection that extend far beyond ourselves.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into Truly Madly Guilty.
Yes, thank you.
It's been an absolute pleasure exploring this captivating novel with you.
Until next time, happy reading.